Hey guys, this is my 2008 Ford Mustang GT. The exhaust I picked out for this Mustang is the MBRP Muffler-Delete kit, and from what I've seen and heard, it makes these things sound amazing. So if you want to jump ahead to the exhaust clip sounds, the times are going to be posted right here. The story of why I chose this generation of Mustang starts back in the 90s when the 462 valve was introduced to the Mustang line. The sound coming from that engine was unmistakable. You always knew a Mustang was passing by just from the sound of the exhaust. The styling of the late 90s, early 2000s Mustangs wasn't bad, but Ford made it better in 2005 to 2009 because they brought back the 60s styling of the pony car and made it modern. With these Mustangs, they changed it from a 462 valve to a 463 valve, made a little bit more power. The head design was a little bit different, but the exhaust sound was exactly the same. So with that styling and the sound is why I chose this generation. When I got this vehicle, it wasn't in the greatest condition, and there were a number of repairs that needed to be made to this vehicle. I'll go through a couple of them with you now. The first thing I did was replace the alternator. The old one was not charging and there was some bearing noise in it. I did replace it with a 250 amp alternator, which yes, I do know it is overkill, but who knows? I might put a sound system in this car one day. We'll see. The other things I replaced were the headlights and fog lights. The old ones are starting to crack and fog up. These new ones have halos, and I think the vehicle looks better now. The upper and lower grille have been replaced. The old lower grille had a hole in it. The front emblem has been replaced. And since I had the bumper off, I figured might as well replace the turn signals too. So on the rear, I replaced the rear lower control arms because I had some squeaking going around corners. And there was a little bit of grinding in the rear, and so I replaced the rear wheel bearings and the axles, and all the noise seems to have disappeared. The rims were painted black, and it wasn't done real well, and there were drips on the wheels of just black paint, and it looked terrible. So I spent a lot of time taking off that old paint and bringing it back to the factory paint. I also spent a lot of time buffing this car, so that's probably why it's as shiny as it is now. So now it's time for the thing we've all been waiting for. Let's go install that new exhaust. So now that I have this thing up on ramps, to me it's easier to put it on ramps for this kind of repair versus lifting it with a jack. But based off of what I'm seeing here, looks like there's one band clamp here and here for each muffler, and then two hangers. Looks like this one and this one over here have bolts holding them in, so we can just take the bolts out and then hopefully just slide them right out the back. So that should be pretty much it for the install. Yeah, let's get right to it. So one thing that might help you guys is it's a little bit of a trick getting this old muffler out of here. Of course, you have to take the old band clamp off, but the hangers that they put on these things, they give you enough clearance to actually pull this thing this way push on the pipe that's back in front of the axle, and then you can pull that pipe out of there. But now I'm running into an issue where these rubber grommets want to hold on to the hangers on this muffler. And that's where I use a tool like this. I think I picked it up from Snap-on. I don't really know. But the grommet goes right in here, and this pushes on the exhaust hanger. And then you just push it right through. Let's see if this tool will actually help me get this out of here. Oh, look at that. Oh. Yep. I love this tool for exhaust. No doubt about it. Yeah, if you can pick up one of these, this is such a lifesaver for exhaust. I mean, I was struggling with that just a couple seconds before starting this, and this just made it pop right out. Excellent tool. Ooh, boy, that side was being a turd burglar. Well, what's going on the driver's side was I wasn't able to push it out the back far enough to get this pipe off. So I took the front or the back bushing off completely. So this one right here, and I was able to swing it. Took a little bit of doing, but if you swing it the right way, you can get this pipe basically like this. Get the pipe off to the side like this, and then you can pull it back and then drop this muffler out. So, old exhaust off, time to get the new stuff on. This is the MBRP Muffler-Delete that I'm going to install. Comes with 2 new bands, pipes, and some exhaust tips that are double rolled. So, this should be interesting. I mean, these are just awesome. Love them. It's going to sound good. Let's get them on. Can't wait. Well, now that I have more room, got the mufflers out, I actually see that you can take all these exhaust bushings off with just a couple bolts. So, since these mufflers were taking up so much room, it blocked my view. So, since we're only going to put pipes basically back in here, I'm going to drop these, put them on the pipes, and then mount everything up, because then I'll have plenty of room to get all the bolts in place. One thing you can do to help with getting the bushings over these hangers, take a little bit of Sil Glide. Sil Glide I used to use on pretty much everything. It's not harmful for any component. It's really meant for brake lubrication, but when it originally came out, it was meant for more than that. But just take a little bit of this, put it around that hanger there, and that'll help significantly with getting the bushings on these things. So now that's all set, let's get this thing on here. Here is the finished install. And for a measurement here, all I did was just went from the first knuckle to the tip of my finger, if I could see it over the bumper, and I did that for both sides, and it made the clearance pretty good. I'm happy with that. So this looks amazing. Let's go start this thing up. Here we go. This is first time starting up with the new exhaust. Oh, this is gonna sound good. Oh, listen to that. Ooh. Wow, what a difference. Let me show you behind the car. This is amazing. I hope you enjoyed watching. This one was definitely fun for me. That exhaust sounds so good. If you can, give me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. It definitely helps out the channel. And I'll see you on the next one.